Hey guys, welcome to my very first YouTube video, and purpose of this video is to show you why I created this YouTube channel and more importantly my website. But first I need to kind of show you what I believe and tell you about just a couple things that I believe in order to get this thing started. First of all, where do dreams and good ideas come from? If you, first of all, I believe similar to what Plato believes, and I believe that good ideas and dreams are a gift from God. I believe they come directly from Him. But I also believe Carl Jung believes that we have a collective subconscious, in that we all share in our subconscious, and that's why good ideas come to multiple people at the same time. Next, I need you to understand about memory. And first of all, memory is a collection of your last recollection of something that happened. For instance, if I ask you, hey, do you remember the first day of high school? Now, if you have a vivid memory or if you have a photographic memory, you might remember certain details about it. But if I ask you, do you remember the shirt you wore on the first day? I'm probably not going to remember. But if I say, do you remember your favorite shirt? Did you wear that your first day? If it's highly likely you did wear it, you might say, yeah, I might remember that. And then next time when I ask you about your first day of high school, you may immediately remember the shirt that you probably wore but may not have. So that's kind of how it works. So about 17 years ago, I had this dream, and it's really hard to tell where the dream begins and the memory begins because, like I said, it's just a recollection of the last thing I remember. But about 17 years ago, I remember I woke up from a nap, and I just remember have this feeling of that you're gonna free the slaves, and I don't know really how to explain it. It wasn't wasn't God screaming down on me, or wasn't this burning bush. It was more of like a premonition of what's to come, and I remember thinking, okay, that was kind of weird. What was I just dreaming about? And then suddenly on the TV, it was a show about hacking and how he was going to free the slaves. And I was just like, okay, well, was it about that show I was dreaming about, or what was it? So didn't really think much of it. And then all of a sudden, later on, I went to work, and the girl there, co-worker, called me Spartacus, and I was like, oh, that's kind of funny. I was like, I kind of like that name. And then I thought, well, does it have anything to do with freeing the slaves? And I just kind of liked the name. It kind of stuck, rung to my heart, and just one of those things that, it was my first email address. It was my MySpace name. It was my Facebook name, and so I kind of just liked the name. But over the years, I started thinking, well, why did I have that dream? Did I make that up? Was it, what was going on with that? And started thinking about, well, what is slavery? What does that mean? Because I remember when I first dreamt, I was like, well, slaves were freed, long time ago. Some people believe 400 years ago. It's kind of funny, but they're only freed about 150 years ago, which really isn't that long. But I still thought, that's an old system. There's not slaves anymore. But in my recent studies, there's a lot of people that are saying there's more slaves now than have ever been throughout the history of the earth. And I started to investigate, and slavery can be anything from human trafficking to our prison system, debt, or maybe it's just a bad relationship you're in. Maybe it's maybe you're addicted to drugs, or maybe you're just unhappy. And I think one of the quotes about slavery that really struck to me was Frederick Douglass, who was born a slave. He said, I did not know I was a slave until I wasn't able to do the things I wanted to do. And when I read that, and it was only a couple weeks ago, it really, really resonated with me because, there's been times where I wanted to do things and I just wasn't able to do it. And so, all this kind of came to fruition. Everything's just kind of coming together all at one time. So that's really the point of this video and this web series I'm gonna create. And the thing I'm going to focus on is actually financial freedom. And for those of you that are already there, great. But for most of us, we're just not there. And I'm definitely not there right now. And that's what this video is going to show you over the course of time. I'm hoping this webpage is able to show you how to develop your own financial freedom, because I'm definitely not there right now. I tried to buy a car, a used car, and it wasn't Audi, but it was used, and and they said, well, you need more money down, or you're gonna need this, and I just didn't like that feeling. So that's what really just is motivating me more to create this web page. But one of the things I'm gonna go over with is I'm gonna do it through social entrepreneurship and employee-owned companies. So I'm gonna in the next couple of videos, I'm gonna create some companies. I'm going to do a couple things that are just things that you can do maybe on yourself. I'm going to start small, but I'm going to need lots of help. I'm definitely not claiming to be Steve Jobs or the next Steve Jobs, but I will need a couple Steve Wozniaks. I will need some help to create these companies and websites and these different burdens that I've just had on my heart lately. I definitely don't have all the answers, and I don't know everything that's going to happen. But I am asking you to just question your own answers, and maybe you can help me, maybe you can join me, and I just know that I know it's going to take a lot of faith, and I know it's going to take a lot of hard work, but I do believe that what it says in Psalms 37:4, where it says God gives you the desires of your heart, and I remember the first time I heard that, I was like, well, what does that even mean? Like, I was probably in high school, and I was thinking, does that mean God gives you the desires that are in your heart, or is He giving you what's already in your heart? And it was more like a cyclical thought pattern that, well, if He put those desires in there, I guess He's going to give them to you. So that's kind of what's been burdening me a lot lately. And I have about 10 scripts laid out, and I have about 6 to 10 business plans laid out. But I am going to have to. I am going to need some help for sure, and I am going to need basically a lot of prayer and a lot of hard work to make them happen. But, I believe that I am a child of the Creator just as you are, and I think we can make a lot of great things happen. So if you believe what I believe and you want to join me, please like and share and comment on this page. Thank you.